It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.
On the road, here in lovely Starbucks. Because you know why? The Wi-Fi is really good here. Now, okay, so let's see. I got my paper. So I have everything written down this time, because I'm telling you, I need everything written down in order to do this show. Alright, so I don't want to shout, because shouting sucks. And I'm going to shout later at cheer practice. They are so hyper this week. Well, that's, they're excited. So for those who enjoyed me last week, I will tell you. So my cheer team got second place. We could have taken first if our pyramid didn't collapse, but we got a trophy, and all the girls were excited. And so now, this week, is our last competition week for sectionals. We have 14 teams that we are competing against. So that's a lot of teams. And some of these teams are damn good. Not saying that mine's not. I'm just saying we have a lot to make up with the score on the score sheets. People don't understand how cheerleading works, and the score sheets they're tough. To do cheerleading is very tough, and it takes talent to do cheerleading because it's a sport. Not anybody can just be a cheerleader, especially for competition. So I'm so excited. So that's what's happening, and my last competition of the season is Saturday. And then after that, I get to then work on all these cool projects that I can't wait to share with you that I'm working on. But I'm also going to have to prepare for the fall. But anyway, so here's my list of things to go over. So I'll go over this part later. Instagram news. Okay, so in Instagram, if you didn't know, last March 2019, Instagram first launched the feature called Checkout, which a feature that allows users to make a purchase directly in the app. That's what they call it, Checkout. They had all these, the initial partners of this idea were Nike, Adidas, Outdoor Voices, Oscar de la Renta, Zara, and then they got new companies, Abercrombie & Fitch, Hollister, Soul Cycle, Joe's Jeans, Steve Madden, Michael Kors, and Rebecca Minoff to add the checkout feature on Instagram. So this is what's happening now, see? So this is why the malls are dying, because social media is becoming more purchase friendly. I think that's the best word to put it. It's more purchase friendly now. So being a checkout enabled brand does have its perks at the stage, especially on the platform. It's increasing saturated with businesses and brands. So first, when users click on the shop tab on their explore page, Instagram at Shops has started to post product recommendations in the top right corner of the page. When clicked, a user can see a selection of products from the only checkout enabled brands. So this is going to go global. It's going to happen. So you're going to be able to purchase lots of different things just directly from Instagram. So you won't have to go to like Amazon, or you won't have to go to like Macy's or those actual spots, or like Nike, for example. You can just go to Nike's Instagram page, click the checkout now button, and purchase your shoes. All right. Okay. So here's the other thing about Instagram I wanted to say. Okay. So this is what they're adding. So Instagram accounts, they did this a little bit differently. So they're trying to add some new material for Instagram. So what they're going to do is, the only way that you can remove someone from your followers is to go to the list, find them, and then select that option. You can alternately block someone and then unblock them, at which point you would no longer have them following you. These two methods are rather time-consuming and inefficient. In light of this new Instagram testing this new feature, it would allow you to go directly onto someone's profile and sequentially remove them from your followers. So if you have someone who you don't want them to follow you because you don't want them to see what you're doing, and a lot of women in the entrepreneur group that I'm in on Facebook, they don't like them people, oh, she's following me and she's copying me from my Instagram. So So now you can go to Instagram. She's following you real soon. You can be able to go to Instagram, and you will be able to remove those people from following you. And I don't even think they're even going to know, because I think that defeats the whole purpose of the feature. Okay, so then Twitter news. We have Twitter news. All right, so last November, Twitter rolled out its Hide Replies feature. This feature is designed to lessen the power of online trolls to disrupt conversations, lets users decide which replies to their tweets are placed behind an extra click. Today, Twitter is making the Hide Replies available to its developer community, allowing for the creation of tools that help people hide the replies to their tweets faster and more efficiently. So now, if you don't want to see trolls' responses on Twitter, you're now able to do so in a way, which I think is really good. I see a lot of people doing that on Twitter. I can tell you that's why I have my Twitter set up. So if you're not following me and I'm not following you, I really don't get to see your replies, unless I go into an app that I use to set up tweets that have my tweets then be tweeted. Like I do live tweeting on Twitter, but I have to also set up tweets to go all day long. So when I'm on that app, I can see who the trolls, if I want to. Okay. So let's talk about Twitter while we're still talking about Twitter. All right. So here's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things that are trending on Twitter. Ready? Well, first, for all the Jets fans, it's still Sam Darnold. So on TikTok, on the New York Jets TikTok, they posted a video of him playing basketball. Let me tell you how many negative comments. There were tons. Well, why is he playing basketball? Why can't other athletes do this? Blah, 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 whatever. So I did something nice on my Twitter page if you want to go look at it, about what we learned on the off-season about Sam Darnold. And now today, the New York Post had an article that a former teammate says that he has to step the F up. But notice we don't know who that teammate is, and they may be not a teammate. It could just be the writer for itself that wrote that article out there. We had a feel-good story for the NHL with the emergency goalie. So that was really a fun story, and Twitter really loved that story. See, so when people say that they don't like positivity on social media, especially on Twitter, because Twitter is basically a lot of negativity, that's false. People love positive stories, and that's one of the positive stories that everybody just had a feel-good story for. He was a kidney recipient, and he got a new kidney, so then they donated, they made T-shirts for him, and they donated half of those proceeds went to the Kidney Foundation, which was really cool. If you haven't looked at Twitter, and you are a sports fan like I am, go look at how many athletes on Twitter are narcissists. There was a doctor that posted something. Let me see if I can find that tweet. She posted an article about narcissists, and I was like, hello, paging all athletes, especially football players and basketball players. Like I said in the previous show, well, not the previous one, but in December, Major League Baseball is so far behind social media compared to the NFL, the NBA, and the NHL. So a lot of different things. So let me see if I can find that tweet. Sometimes I can find it, sometimes I can't. I'm gonna do. But anyway, I will find that one on the narcissists. It was a while ago. But I'm telling you, if you read a lot of athletes' tweets, they're not about team. They're not team oriented. They're a lot of times I find that their tweets are just about themselves. So this doctor wrote this really awesome article, and I was like, paging all athletes. And it should be paging celebrities too for that one. And so still on Twitter, people are still talking about the Astros with Mike Fears, especially because Big Papi had his reaction to calling him the whistleblower, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's stupid. Stupid, really. We should actually be praising him for coming out and actually, because they still will be cheating this year. Think about that. If he didn't come out, you guaranteed they'd still be cheating. And especially since now a lot of athletes, when they they're interviewed, because who knows if they're interviewed or not, really. I mean, when people say anonymous source, I don't know. But although I have anonymous sources too, but sometimes I actually tell you where I get them from. Like, it depends. I can see it from both sides of the angle. Like, you're writing a book. You want to put your information in the book. You don't want to give up your source, because then if you give up your source, everybody is just going to flock to the source and they're not going to flock to you instead. I can see that as that way, but there's a lot of, you got to be careful with social media though. Alright, so then also the thing that's also going even on Facebook is the coronavirus misinformation. And Facebook, actually, if you followed my Facebook page, I posted the article yesterday, I believe, on the coronavirus, that Facebook is trying to delete those ads that are giving misinformation. And there's a lot of misinformation on Twitter too. So, and I just want to basically say this though. Whether or not you like Trump, blaming him for the coronavirus makes you look really stupid. I'm just going to throw that out there, because you know what? That's really stupid. And it's not his fault. Can we just stop it already? Like, what are we going to do? Like, blame everything on him, for God's sakes? I can't. It's just stupid. That's like blaming it on me, basically. I mean, you're blaming it on everybody. You blame it on your worst enemy. It's your fault. No, it's not. And the misinformation by the media is sickening. It's like, they don't care if they actually want people to get it, to then blame it on him and people to die. It's ridiculous. But anyway, so I did put on my page the article, yes, about Facebook. Here it is. So, Facebook confirms banned misleading coronavirus ads. And there are a lot of them. And what I say all the time is, don't believe everything you see posted. I still can't believe people are so gullible. They believe everything they say. Meanwhile, by the way, speaking of that, so somebody sent me the Facebook message, which I posted on my page, because I was just like, you're kidding me, right? That China is making meat with corpse in it and selling it to Africa. That scam and false narrative has been going around Facebook since actually 2013, 2014. So, but I mean, why would people actually believe that stuff? This is how stupid the society has become with social media, though. I'm just gonna try to find it. Wait, dun 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 dun. Oh yeah, breaking. Don't pass around the Facebook message that China is making corned beef. That's it, because St. Patrick's Day is coming. Corned beef with dead bodies, then selling the product to Africa. It's false. Don't let scams circulate. And that's the problem with Twitter and Facebook, especially those and TikTok. Misinformation is just allowed to keep circulating, and because people don't research. And speaking of that leads me into this. So for all you environmental warriors who are on social media, do you know that paper bags are actually worse than plastic? Why don't we do our research? Well, I did mine. So I will tell you, paper bags are bigger than plastic, which means they take up more space in landfills. They're recycled at a higher rate, which migrates the fact but that still means they have a greater per bag impact on landfills. It takes 4 times as much energy to manufacture a paper bag as compared to plastic. And the raw materials have to come from trees, a natural resource that is otherwise carbon fixing. Making paper bags not only adds waste to the world, it kills one of our greatest tools for fighting pollution. Paper bags generate 70 more air pollutants than plastic. They generate 50 times more water pollutants than plastic, and it takes 91% less energy to recycle a plastic bag than it does a paper bag. Paper bags are thick, so shipping them costs more fuel per bag. But you're not going to see this on Facebook, and you're not going to see this on Twitter, because all the environmental warriors think it's plastic because one person says it, then they just keep going around, and that's how it circulates. And then this one circulates, and then this circulates here, and it just blows up because now March 1st, here in New York State, you're not allowed to use paper bags in stores. I mean, plastic bags. But then I saw in Target, you have to, I think, pay 5 cents. And I think that's also how it is at ShopRite. I'm not sure. But, which is stupid. Because then people have to make money now on you using a paper bag. And those cloth bags are even more disgusting to use than a plastic bag because you have to put all your food in it, and then that means you have to wash the bag each time you use it. And then, so if you shop a lot and you buy $100 worth of groceries, you're gonna need at least 10 of those bags. That's a lot of money, and that's a lot of washing. Just saying, but we don't research things. That's basically what I find, and it's all over the place. So let's look and see what else is happening. Now TikTok, I have it on here. So TikTok has, I think, settled down now a little bit in regards to seeing dumb videos that should not be on there. But I will say this. I will say this about those. I think TikTok has made people lose their creativity because you see all the people doing the challenges, so like the dance challenges. Well, I choreograph, cheerleading, and I choreograph dance. So why would I want to copy somebody else's dance? I want to create my own. So like those challenges, I think if I see one more renegade, I'm going to scream. And that was also what I talked about last week. People were fighting over who created the renegade, and then she was actually on Ellen. Okay. That's all I have to say. Okay. There's a lot more sports stuff on TikTok right now. I see a lot more of it. I've definitely seen it does help cheerleading, I have to say, because there's tons of cheerleading videos on TikTok, I say. Snow, people with their snowman. People putting their inventions on TikTok. I think that's a good idea. But it's not also the best idea to put your invention on. So this guy just said, these beds could save your life during an earthquake. And I don't really think that that's really good idea. It's like a box, literally. So it collapses and you go inside the box. There's no air coming out of it. Where are you breathing? But, and if they haven't created the patent for it yet, somebody else can take that idea. And that's also what I find a lot of times on social media is that people have business ideas and then they share it with everybody and then they get mad when somebody else actually takes the idea and goes the full mile to create whatever product or service that idea was. See, so it's really important not to share your ideas all the time on social media. The best advice is to keep a little mystery. Like, I'm creating a product. You have no idea what that product is yet because I have not shared it with you. I just told you that I'm creating a product. And you'll find out once I start getting all my ideas written down and stuff. And, doing my projects, which is one of the projects of March. Making money off TikTok. So there are sites that you can actually go on. Let me see if I can find it here. You can Google it. So you Google and Instagram. This is why kinda companies don't double check on followers and stuff because you can make money. So on Instagram, with the number of followers that I have, I can make the minimum amount of money I can make on Instagram right now is $165 per post. The most I can make is $4.95. I think I remember that right. But celebrities, this is how it's measured. So I have a calculator and there's a system that you can actually use to determine how much money you can make on Instagram and how much money you can make on Twitter. And actually, what people don't realize is you can actually make more money on Twitter than you can on Instagram. Because right now, Instagram is so saturated with like influencers and with celebrities doing their thing on Instagram that they don't understand that they can actually get paid on Twitter more money than on Instagram. So I find that very fascinating. Facebook is done. I'm sorry to say. But Facebook, you're not going to really make that much money on Facebook anymore. That way, like being an ambassador and stuff. Facebook ads, though, still work, as though Instagram ads work. Instagram ads, I think right now, are a little bit better right now than Facebook ads. But if your picture, so here, I'll go on my Instagram, because my picture doesn't have, if your picture doesn't have a certain resolution, you can't do an ad with that picture. So, for example, let's go look on mine. I did this ad for this clothing company, and it says, this photo's resolution is too low and can't be used. Choose a different photo or upload a higher quality image. So that's why a lot of people now need to take higher quality photos to post on Instagram. You just don't want to put a photo on. Now you want to have higher quality. Especially the resolution. The resolution really has to be really, really bright without using a filter. That's the whole thing. Don't use filters. Filters actually diminish your resolution, so you don't want to do that. And then I have created an Instagram series called Behind the Scenes, The Diary of a Social Gal. I have my own series now on Instagram. You can watch it. There are a few ones behind the scenes. I have two ones right now. There'll be another one posted there probably this weekend. I'll do another one there. So there's a lot of different things that you can do now on Instagram that you couldn't do last year at this time. So Instagram is competing right now a lot with TikTok. So it's TikTok versus Instagram. Facebook is not competing with anybody really anymore. And Twitter is still in its own universe. But like I said, you can make more money on Twitter than you can on Instagram. I'm going to be meeting with some athletes, so they don't even know that they can make a lot more money on Instagram. I'm on Twitter per post. So for example, if you're an athlete, here I'm just going to give you another tip. If you're an athlete and you're on Twitter, when you're going, to your locker room before the game, and you walk in the hallway and you're all in your suits and you're all dressed to the nine, get that picture, because I know each team has professional photographers that take your picture. So they take your picture, make sure you get that picture, or you can just download it when they post it on Twitter themselves to your phone. Get it and now post it yourself on your own Twitter feed, okay, or your Instagram feed. Post it there and tag. So this is where the tagging comes into line. Tag who's the suit. Like for example, Calvin Klein, one that comes to mind. Thank you, Calvin Klein, for dressing me, or thank you, Calvin, something along those lines of being creative, but with the suit, the name, the brand. So whoever it is, Michael Kors, Dolce and Gabbana, whoever you're wearing, that's the main point. Whoever you're wearing, you need to tag it in that post. And you just keep tagging it. So you should really be thinking and using the same brand in every single one of your posts. So it shouldn't be one post should be Dolce & Gabbana, and one post is Calvin Klein, another post is Michael Kors. Now you pick one brand and you stick with that brand. So all your clothes that you're going to post on Twitter or on Instagram or both are going to be the same brand. And you just constantly keep posting, and then maybe they'll take notice. So if you're a Hollister, that's one of the ones that I have a checkout now on Instagram. Hollister or Crombie, Steve Madden's another one. Nike's another one. A lot of athletes do things with Nike. Adidas, however you pronounce it. I pronounce it the other way. Those types of things. So you gotta take those brands and you gotta do something with it. You just don't want to just have teams posting your picture that you're walking into your locker room. Those pictures are the ones that people want to see. You're not gonna get paid for posting a picture in your uniform. So we know what you look like. I think I've said it millions of times. Now let me see if I can find that article before the show is over. I don't remember when it was posted, but it was just a really awesome article about narcissists. And I was like, oh my God, hello. So one of the one of the Twitter debates this past week too was something that's close to my heart since I'm Italian. We call everything tomato sauce, everything gravy. Right? It's gravy. It's not sauce. So we don't call it marinara sauce. Not that much. We don't call it, like when we have bolognese, which is meat sauce, we don't call it meat sauce. We call it gravy. Meat gravy. So this has been like this is what the debate this week. It was just crazy. But seeing like those little things are fun things to discuss on Twitter. That's social media engagement. You're engaging with other people to have conversation about something as simple as food. And it's not something that's going to be negative. Of course, you're going to have dumbass people say dumbass stuff, but you just got to keep going with it. All right. Let me see. I have to find this. That was actually one of the things that we talked about. So on Instagram, model Ashley Graham pumps breast milk. You're going to pump breast milk and show everybody on Instagram you're pumping breast milk. Why do we need to see that? I don't need to see that. Sorry, but I don't need to see that. I think it was just the stupidest thing. Alright, so let me find the article. Let's see if we can find it. Let's see if we can find the article that I wanted to show. No, of course not. Why would I mention it? Why would I find it when I need to find it? This is usually my life. Especially this week. So I will have to find the article and then I will let you know. But it was a really, really good written article on narcissists. And everything that this doctor said definitely shows how narcissist people are on social media. When it's always about them, especially for an athlete, it shouldn't always be about you. Like if you can look at some other athletes that when they message and they talk about things, there's some really great athletes, I have to say, on social media though, because I'm always talking like people think I'm always negative about it. No. There are some really great ones that know how to interact with fans, know how to ask like good questions, like what shows are you watching on Netflix, or what new show should I watch, or what book should I read, or like those types of things where it's not I'm the greatest player that ever lived. We don't need to say that stuff, really. I mean, who are you trying to prove that to? Really, when people do that and they do a lot of selfies, they're really insecure people, and they're really just trying to let themselves know that they're good. But I just thought of something that I wanted to say, and then I forgot. My life this week. All right, so for everybody to know, it is not unheard of for those with more than 100,000 followers. So that's basically a lot of athletes and celebrities. They can earn $700 to $900 per post, mostly on Instagram. Those with 500,000 followers can command $2,000 to $3,000 per sponsored post. Then, of course, you have the superstars that have over 1 million followers, and they can get, close to $1 million per post. But not that many do that, which is interesting to me. Just interesting. I forgot what I was going to say now. This is my life. Oh, so there was a thing on Twitter about if you are a man and you have a beard, you really should shave your beard off, because you could be harboring the bacteria in your beard. This is why I don't like beards. See, I told you. See how gross those caveman beards are? I'm telling you, right there. There you go. I'm just trying to think. There was something I wanted to say and I forgot. This is my life this week. So anyway, my Instagram series is on. You can watch that. I have a lot of other stuff that I'm working on. LinkedIn there's certain things that are going to change on LinkedIn, mostly with the algorithm. So if you're on LinkedIn, just be on the lookout for how things are changing on LinkedIn. That's not what I wanted to say. Dun dun dun. Don't know what I wanted to say. God almighty. This is my life. So anyway, it's cold here. My hair is blowing all over the place. March is coming, so we'll have definitely some more topics to talk about in March. But like I said, things are changing on Instagram. It's getting more commercial based, so people can purchase more items from Instagram. If you sell a product and you have a brick and mortar, you really should be doing both. You should have exclusive stuff in store and exclusive stuff online. Not the same you can have the same products too, but I would switch it off and have both exclusive stuff. I will be doing exclusive stuff with my podcast. See, so that's a plus as well. And that's basically, I think, all I have to say. And as soon as I stop this, I'm going to remember what the hell it is I wanted to talk about. But my brain right now is on my cheerleading team. So we have our competition this weekend. So that's where my brain is right now. And hopefully we do good. And then I have, I'm kind of sad it's over, but I'm kind of happy it's over in the same sense, because like I said, I get my afternoons back now. So then I'll be able to, work on these projects that I'm working on. And there's a couple of really awesome projects. I can't wait. Oh, see, I remembered now. So, one of the projects I'm working on is writing the follow-up to my book, Hello Love, Where's Cupid, 2nd edition, which was one of my bestsellers. It was a bestseller, but it was one of my personal, bestsellers. I have 2 or 3 of them. So one of them, I was talking with one of my friends. So this is how gullible people are on these dating sites, I just have to say. And oh, by the way, in my book, I will tell you athletes who are on apps and which apps they're on. And there's actually a couple New York Jets on these apps, and one of them pretended to be his job. So he lied to the people on this app and told people he was a construction worker when he's really a football player. So why would I want to date someone who's already lying to me? Think about that. But so she told me this story that she had this friend's daughter met this guy online, and the second date, the guy invites this girl to his apartment to cook a meal. That's the first red flag. First of all, you're still strangers. You don't know each other. You just met online, and you're going to go to this guy's apartment because he's going to cook you dinner. Red flag, red flag. Never go to a stranger's apartment. Second date. And then he cooks her dinner, and she doesn't feel well. She orders the Uber home, and she gets very sick. So she ends up at the hospital, and the doctor's test reveals that she was poisoned with human waste. So when I keep telling you to stay off these apps, this is another story as to why you should stay off these dating apps. They're not dating apps. They're mostly hookup apps. And they're also filled with all of these bad people with bad intentions. Scammers, cheaters, rapists. They're all on these apps. And she's lucky that she didn't get raped, to tell you the truth. So I want to tell you, the reason that women get invited to the apartments for dinner so it's for hookup. Because now you're on the guy's turf. This is why I keep telling people to stay off these apps. So anyway, and I will just tell you one more thing. What I said is, you can still meet some guy who has an STD in person. You can. It's possible, right? But what you can't do online, even on Twitter and Instagram and all these social media sites, is you can't let your gut instinct tell you if this person is a good person or a bad person, or has good intentions, bad intentions. You can't. Your gut doesn't know how to do that, because you're not really. It's hard to explain, but your instinct doesn't kick in. Let's put it that way. Your instinct does kick in when you meet somebody in person, and your gut will either tell you to run for your life or this is a good situation. More times than not, we should always listen to our gut instinct than what we read online, and that's basically like what the book's about. It's mostly going to cover a lot of social media dating. It's going to cover Instagram dating, Twitter dating, because that does happen, Facebook with their Facebook dating app. then I'm probably going to end up having to go on to double check to see how it actually works. Oh, that's going to be fun. And then online dating sites and all the different ones, and I will give you the whole entire breakdown in that book. So that's what I get to work on when cheerleading's over. Yay! In 3 days. So March 1st, guess what I'll be doing? I have so many different projects that I have to work on. I'm creating a product. I'm doing another project with another company. I'm doing so many different things. So I'm very excited about it. But I'm also excited about my cheerleading team this weekend. So wish me luck. You follow me on Twitter, you'll see my pictures. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll see them, and on Instagram. And that pretty much wraps it up. So I will see you next week somewhere out there, because the Sassy Show is on the road in 2020. Bye, and thanks for watching.
It's not just radio, it's Rockland World Radio. RocklandWorldRadio.com.